Religion should make you smart. I mean, it's not mandatory, but there's an element of enlightenment. There's an afterlife, okay, or it's not a religion. And I have said in the past that atheism is a religion, but that was before I knew we were pretending to negotiate and trying to kill me before I found out. That was from the perspective of, a liberal American seeing what the various cults are capable of for a tax break. So cults are not inherently bad. It's when they come here that it's a problem because they establish the basis for codified law, real estate, and currency. You're not going to come impose that on us without quantifying a conventional foreign attack. Religion is a search for universal and eternal truth, unless yours isn't, in which case you're at the wrong meeting. It's not mandatory. Real religion has sanctuary because there's separation of church and state. The church is supposed to last forever. The democracy, we elect on a fixed term. We anticipate that it's not forever. Somebody doesn't like our democracy, they come over, act like this is our religion, and it's like, we already have a God and a government and everything. And they say, well, they don't all agree on the same God. And I'm like, well, that's allowed in my religion. And that's all that matters. Because first I shall do no harm, and then I get punchy. So we got atheists and Satanists and homos and Muslims, and they all think, oh, he's like us. And I'm like, they automatically jump to the conclusion that what you're saying is because of the way they think. And I don't have to explain to homos why I'm saying what I'm saying to the church. We are not affiliated. I don't care if you believe me. The church has an obligation. The faggots raping our Boy Scouts and following them around till they shoot up a school are not affiliated with me. Okay, why I would be negotiating with them. They must be with you. We're allowed to have different of opinion because, well, I mean, it's not entirely up for purposes of, if it were just you and me, it would be because I said so. For all of Europe, it's not up to us. We don't have the final say in the matter. But Islam doesn't get it because they suffered 300 years of persecution. The Gnostics, right, were persecuted to extinction, and then some Muslim remembered how to read in a cave by himself that he did not own with a 6-year-old girl that he did. And now we've got pushy, clandestine faggots trying to judge us from on high because they wouldn't know a religion if the risen Messiah himself jumped out and bit all their asses off all at once in one glorious, shining midnight dawn. These are the ones who are not allowing us to prosecute violent crimes against small children because once we do, they become obsolete, which means they exist to justify our downfall. The gay revolution is supported by our enemies because they can't possibly win on their own. They're a controlled opposition meant to weaken us. They're stupid. They wouldn't know what to do if they did win. Bunch of faggots calling people crazy. It's obviously meant to sell behavioral health. It's market development, business 101. But first, do no harm, or you're not a doctor in any religion, which means you don't come over here and act like we have to do what you say, like we're too stupid to be trusted with our deficit, but just fine when you're racking up the bill. So it's not entirely the fault of the legislature. The Constitution is not inherently flawed in its inception. Freedom of the press. Nobody ever raped an unconscious 6-year-old boy into a free press news team. So we're just not represented. It's a problem because we have failed to define hacking. If the internet were a series of tubes, one should at least hire a plumber. Don't call people a hacker. You don't prosecute hacking. You may as well call them a witch. So how is a plumber going to help with the global hacking? Because we're not pussies. Bunch of limp-wristed Martian faggots holding down the Supreme Court in favor of persecuting white people till we run out.